Hey, what's up everyone? Since my previous video shut off abruptly, I'm going to do a quick video as a part 2 talking about what I was previously talking about. So, look up HR 1111 or 1111. I titled my previous video and it already got a like. Thank you to the person who liked that before they even got to watch it. Either that or it's not even showing. Check that out. It's not even showing any views yet. It's showing 0 views, but yet I already got a like. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. This administration delayed something huge, and that's what I titled it. And I believe that to be very, very true. And I discovered that, and I also left a link to God Rules video, his video, because this is where a lot of the detailed information that I discussed, that I shared in this video came from. But if you look up HR 1111 or 1111, you will find out that they plan on taking a lot of rights away from individuals. They plan on taking our means of protection, I'll just say, away from us, and taking our right to bear arms away, basically. I'll just put it that way, which is in the Constitution. And you see so many times that they want to remove the Founding Fathers. They want to remove the previous statues of those that came before. They want to remove all of this. And the previous administration had actually removed several of the pictures off of the walls of the White House that this administration has put back in there. And it was really sad. They were putting us under international law. They were putting us under the TPP. They also put us under international law. And it gave the previous administration, which was going to give it to the next one, even creating a third term for themselves. He spoke about all of this. He said, I believe, he even said, I believe that, and you know who I'm talking about, if I had run for a third term, that he said he could have rallied the people enough to have persuaded them in order to vote for him again for a third term. That's basically, in a nutshell, what he said. And he actually thought that he could have got a third term. And that's what he stated himself. And that's what that video is about that I just talked about previously, is what would have happened and still probably will had, let's keep focusing on light, let's put out love, let's counteract their hate and their negative agenda with peace and love, and let the Lord's light shine through, because that reign is only going to last for a short period of time, that dark agenda. I do feel 2030 is a pivotal point. I still do. 30 to 32. I feel that way still. Not necessarily in the direction or what they're talking about, unless they cause it. You know who. I've got to be really careful with my words, because I've noticed that they will show 0 viewership on videos of mine if I don't word it properly. See, they're still showing no views on my previous one, when obviously someone viewed it, because I've already got a like. So, yeah. Something doesn't add up there, right? During that administration, I was seeing European ambulances. I was seeing law created under the EU. I was seeing meetings taking place at the UN where United Nations got together, signed bills under the European Union, and were putting us under international law. It was fact. And they were creating so many laws for control that it was like a dictatorship rather than a democracy. And they keep bragging about their democracy. Their democracy. Folks, their democracy is nothing but control. Democracy is good. Democracy is supposed to be for the people. We are supposed to be the ones that are in charge, and they're supposed to be led by us, and they're supposed to serve the people, just like the police are supposed to protect and serve the citizens. The government is supposed to be put into place to protect and serve as well, to serve the citizens of a nation. That's why that governmentship has been organized, and those particular branches have been separated. The judicial, the legislative, the exec, all of this has been made in order to supposedly create and sustain a more perfect union. It's supposed to be. Now, nothing's perfect, but they've taken that out of control. If you read the preamble, if you read the parts of the Constitution, it was meant in order to stop chaos, to stop people from just... It would be like the Wild Wild West days. It would be like the, like just barbaric craziness is what it would be like if there wasn't a little bit of established control. They've gone too far, though. That's my issue, is they've gone too far. And if you look at H.R. 1111, that bill still shows 0 views here, huh? Crazy. But if you look at H.R. 1111, and you look at all of what they plan, this administration that's in there right now, without naming it, TRUMP, has put a damper in their whole agenda, and I feel that, and it'll still come back probably, but those of us light workers, those of us on the side of light and truth and love and peace, the Lord's going to let us be fine. The Lord's going to let us, our way will be fine. But I want to wake so many people up who aren't aware of this that hopefully you can actually, that you can find out what's going on. During the previous administration, not to name any names, but you know what I'm talking about, AI, algorithms out there, you know what I'm talking about. During the previous administration, they were creating bills to where, in some states, they weren't even allowed to burn a wood stove. If a child helped on a farm, it was child labor. And if you had Bible study, then you were criminalized. You were facing fines, even federal prison time over doing Bible study in the evening. This one mother was doing Bible study for her community, and they said that you're not allowed to do Bible study. I even have that in my previous videos. You can find it. And just like CHINA, they were putting images of him up in all of their churches and burning the crosses over there. And Europe, it was happening. Still happening in many nations, but thankfully in the United States, the freedom of belief, of our belief in Jesus Christ, is being allowed once more to be openly stated. It was being, anyone who believed in Jesus Christ was being ostracized and condemned here in the United States for the past 8 years. Before this administration, before 2016. Now, under the Constitution, there's a separation of church and state. And under the Constitution, there is a separation. You are not allowed to put religious law into the laws of a nation. Well, here's the kicker. What was happening during the previous administration, 17 or more states actually tried out Sharia law, S-H-A-R-I-A law, in the United States, New York being one of them. Still doing it in some places because you cannot discriminate under the Constitution. Well, when the Constitution says you cannot discriminate against religions, they don't mean you can't discriminate against the laws when it starts breaking down our freedom or going against the Constitution. They started creating that particular type of law, which is Islamic law or Muslim law, in several states and tried it out, one of which was Indiana, which had several mosques during the previous administration. This is stuff, this is facts, unless Google has removed it. You can look it up. I seen it happening. It was on the news and it was online. What is Sharia law? It is Islamic religious law. Ding, 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 ding. The bell goes off. Religious law. The Constitution forbids religious law of any kind to be used. And the separation of church and state also includes that any type of belief cannot be utilized to control the government or control the laws of this nation, the United States. The Constitution forbids religious law in the United States. Sharia is religious law, and that was being tested in 17 different states, including Indiana and New York, and still is in New York and several places to this day. So that was also an illegal thing. People ask me, well, what was he doing? What was the previous administration doing illegal? Well, there's one right there. And the internet is a form of freedom of press, and the internet we were also being silenced, and we still are being silenced today. So, thus, that is also unconstitutional to remove our freedom of speech. And Sharia law, which is religious law, which was also being put into several states in the United States during the previous administration, was being implemented, and that is also unconstitutional as well, taking away